How's it going, folks? It's Lobo and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have another episode of Daredevil. And if you're not already caught up with my series, you can find the link to that in the description, as well as my link to The Boys and Moon Knight. And I just want to say one quick thing before we begin, and this is geared towards you Daredevil fans, because I know there's actually a lot of Daredevil fans that are coming to my channel and checking out my reactions, which I do appreciate. And I love your guys' insight on the character, because a lot of passionate Daredevil fans, and I can understand the show is fantastic. And what I really want to say is that I know some of you know that I had the flu for a week and it made me miss one episode, but there was all a bunch of other stuff going on to where I was just being lazy or blah, 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 excuse. So with that being said, on Sunday, there's going to be something special Daredevil related. It's not really a big deal. It's not anything extravagant, but it's just like a little surprise for you Daredevil fans as me sort of making it up to you for missing so many episodes. So like a slight little surprise, not really a big deal. But on Sunday, you can check out my next reaction, and I'll talk a bit more about what the big surprise is. So, yeah, tune in on Sunday, and you can find out. But anyway, here we are with another episode, and we're just going to dive right into this because I'm very excited. And last episode had such a cliffhanger with the police just showing up to get Matt, and he was cornered. So, man, I'm excited to get this episode started.
On your knees, do it!
Keep your eyes on.
How the hell is he going to get out of this? I really have no idea. He needs a really good lawyer.
Witnesses.
Oh, what the hell? Oh my god, man. His athleticism never ceases to amaze me. Jesus Christ, bro. Man, dude, Fisk has people everywhere. This beautiful intro is going right now, but I just have to say, excluding The Boys, because that's a different type of hero show. Watching Moon Knight and even watching The Batman again on HBO Max and all the other sort of Disney Marvel shows, there is really quite nothing like this when it comes to the violence and the gore. It is so dark and gritty. It's awesome, man. Oh, I love the maturity in this. It's not a shot at the other shows, it's just praising this because this is very, very unique. Love the symbolism there. Who is the king of it all?
Places that were hit are all controlled by the Russians.
Ben. Ben?
Damn, they literally just drove right by them. I mean, who's to say those cops don't work for them?
Corbin and his boys from finishing him off.
Well, he wasn't trying to kill Vladimir.
Based on what we know, probably trying to get him to talk. She'll want to know what her next move is.
Letting the police do their jobs. That's what I pay them for, isn't it?
You don't look so bad.
Yeah, all things considered.
Man, this guy thinks he's saved. Does not know what cops he's messing with.
Oh, that hurts. English.
I don't know. I don't know.
You find anyone alive, shoot him in the head.
Jesus.
That sounds pretty bad, but I don't speak asshole.
I'm going to kill you. Put him in coma.
Yeah. But he was still breathing, wasn't he?
You're masking. What do you want?
Fisk. On trial for everything he's done.
I have counter proposal. Suck my dick.
I knew he was gonna have a snarky remark back.
Hey, I got an elderly woman over here. She's bleeding bad.
Where's she hurt? Are you a nurse? Yeah.
Oh shit, it's Claire. It's crazy when characters come together without even knowing.
Bleeding.
Huh? Oh, that explains it.
Explains what?
The stabbing pain in my side.
Protect him at all costs.
When do you try? I made a very bad decision. That's my whole life. Good to have you back.
Like a crack at finishing the job.
You want me to come out to you? And all this?
No, I want you to walk me through stabilizing him. The man I'm trying to save. It's Vladimir.
The shithead that had me beat up? Tell me what's there, anything you can use.
All right, hang on. That emergency kit. A lot of plastic sheeting.
The kit. Are there any flares in it?
Yeah, 2.
All right, I got it.
Don't let up, no matter how much he screams.
Oh, he's gonna bite your hand! Are they gonna see the light in a window or something? Or they could hear that.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Now.
His ass is knocked out. Oh, what an idiot, bro. Dude is literally knocked out. Show me your hands. Oh, I'm fucking dead, bro. That show is hilarious. I know he didn't know, but... Oh.
Who do you work for?
City of New York.
Call Central. Tell them it's a false alarm. No need to send backup.
41.
Second floor, permanent mass, wounded civilian.
Come on, dude.
You see what's going on here? Nobody's riding a desk tonight.
Can I get a statement?
Yeah, the world's a shitty place. You can quote me.
Turned up. Assaulting a cop in an abandoned building on 12th.
One of ours.
Some kid fresh out of the academy.
10 officers. 4 dogs. More coming.
How do you know this?
Lucky guess.
Men like us.
A man like Fisk just took out your entire operation. And he may not own all the cops, but he owns enough that you won't make it into a prison cell. You know who Fisk's money man is.
Not just Fisk. He handled it. For all of us.
Vladimir, the name.
His name. His name?
Oh, come on. Don't die. Oh, shit. That lying little bastard. Holy shit, bro. Damn, it's like the Green Goblin hallway fight. Crashing through floors. I mean, this did it first, but still.
I still got a few good stories in me. Maybe you two will pop up in one.
Night's young. Never know what might happen.
Could you just please give us a call when you get this? He's still not answering. He's a blind guy in a war zone. Seems like jumping's a pretty reasonable option.
You don't know him like I do. Sometimes I even forget he can't see the way he zips around. Hell of a first date, huh?
I've actually had worse.
Matt, it's Foggy. Where are you, buddy?
This asshole's still alive? Oh, he's dead now.
Blake and Hoffman are clearing a channel.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak to the man in the mask, please.
Oh shit, man. He's gonna talk to him.
Who is this? I think you know. You've been asking about me.
Say your name.
You first.
Self. You're feeding off this city. Like a cancer.
I want to save this city, like you.
And I'm gonna make you pay for what you've done.
No, you're not. Not that I don't admire what you're trying to do. Your part in this drama, by necessity, comes to an end. It's not me you need to worry about. It's this city you just blew the hell out of.
He's gonna frame him.
Russian. Was he alive?
I'm still here, you fat shit.
Women, the children, the people of this city.
You just confirmed how important he is. I must worry you what he might tell me.
Which means he hasn't told you anything yet. You're a child.
Sam.
It's not the mask. It's not the skills. It's your ideology. I respect your conviction, even if it runs counter with my own.
Do it.
No. You want to start giving me some straight answers, detective? Huh, detective? You gonna start being straight with me?
Man, he's just creating hysteria. Literally shooting his own men.
Goodbye. I'm afraid we won't speak again. Tell our friends to roll the tape.
Oh, don't tell me they recorded him and they're gonna forge something.
We are just getting word of a fast development in the investigation in
Hell's Kitchen earlier tonight, pulled from a security camera, and authorities believe this man is responsible for
That's the guy who saved my life.
Jesus. You're lucky he didn't kill you.
I don't understand why he would do something like that.
Told you. This is not how I die.
Imagine if they shoot him.
Officer Sullivan is dead. I say again, Officer Sullivan is dead.
What? Dude. This shit is so fucked up, man. Oh, God. Vladimir.
Let's go. We can still make it out of here. You turn evidence on Fisk.
You control some. Well, police. Judges. The moment you put on the mask, you got into cage with animals. Animals don't stop fighting. Not until one of them is dead. Did you know who controls money? His name is Leland Owsley. He will give you what you think you want.
It's crazy since episode 1, the show has just been going very steadily, and it's not ceased. That's very impressive. Like, this is a very well-made show. I said that every damn episode, but it's like, come on, you can't help but not agree and say it. And it sucks because a lot of people will be like, oh, you're kind of putting other things down, but it's just when you isolate this and really praise the hell out of it for everything it's able to accomplish, it's not degrading everything else. It's just because it's something very unique. And I mentioned this before in other videos. I think a large part of that you have to give credit to the rating, the sort of TV MA-18, like allowing it to be like a mature audience, having gore, having violence, more language. And it's not like it's edgier and it's dark and you crave sort of seeing death. It's more so, it's just so realistic because oftentimes with television and these things, it's always censored, but seeing the realism of things brings out that emotion and brings out the severity of a real situation like this. So them portraying it in this way just always makes me feel a different feeling than I watch other shows, if that makes sense. The best way I can describe it, even though I'm sure, because I know Marvel recently said season 1 and 2 is canon. I don't know about season 3. They're saying season 3 is not canon. I don't know what the deal with season 3. A lot of people say season 3 is spectacular. But I know Matt has to survive at the very least, and we saw Kingpin and Hawkeye. I know Matt was in No Way Home, but I'm just going off of if it's canon or not, if it's the same version of Daredevil. But this whole thing with the show is the feeling of uncertainty because of how somewhat ambitious it is, because it's trying to accomplish a lot. And it's very gritty in the way of will kill and will show no mercy. Like, it's very much reminds me of the prime of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, I am not going to the controversy of the final season. I absolutely adored Game of Thrones. But that was the first show besides Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is another great example, but Game of Thrones, literally, when they killed main characters, you're like, no way. Like, it's an unspoken rule. You don't kill main characters in a show. But this Daredevil show in itself has that same vibe or feeling to where you're not really feeling security because it's so dark and it's so realistic to where it's like not really having a sense of plot armor. You have the feeling that anything can happen at any given moment and really ups the stakes and really puts you on the edge of your seat. That's why somewhat when I watch these episodes, you have a degree of anxiety and nerve because it is so nerve-wracking, and I respect the hell out of the show for doing this. And it's not that it sucks, but it's a very standalone feeling that I don't currently have with other shows. The only one I can really say is The Boys, because that is also a mature thing, but that's more somewhat comedic. It just has a different tone rather than this. And going off of that, I'm really enjoying this. I've said this every damn episode, but it's true. If I didn't have a reaction channel, I probably would have banged this thing out like a month ago. I would have binge watched the shit out of the series. Ever since episode 1, I never really understood the hype with Daredevil before watching, but once you do, you're like, okay, now I understand perfectly. It's just so spectacular, and it's funny too, because there are so many great things in this episode alone. For one, Matt's agility, his acrobatics, the athleticism. I often said this is just how I'm amazed at how he can move. It's funny too, because whenever you see sort of Batman or superheroes or ninjas or whatnot in animation, they always do crazy flips and shit, and you're like, that would never happen in live action. No one is that nimble. But then you see Matt in here, the way he dodges bullets, jumping up and spinning and doing backflips and making the cuffs go from underneath his legs in front of him. Like, he does crazy shit every episode. I'm like, how the fuck can he do that? It's just awesome. He is so acrobatic. I know a lot of it has to do with because he's wearing sort of just the basic tight shirt and pants. He's not necessarily hindered by armor and being weighed down, but still, he is just so acrobatic, and I love it. It's just so satisfying to watch, and it's so badass. Oh, it's so good. He is like a real-life ninja in the dark. It's so good. And then, too, with everything in this episode, the dialogue is so great. The symbolism, even when Vladimir was saying, when you put on the mask, you step in a cage with animals. Animals don't stop until one of them are dead, which is very true, and it's a fantastic analogy for describing this whole situation. And especially his conversation with Wilson Fisk, to where Matt knew that he had the upper hand against him, to where he revealed something, and from there, Fisk knew. Vladimir told him nothing, and you could see Matt visibly get upset at that, because he's like, damn, he knows, and he's got people everywhere. So many cops. The one cop who actually didn't work for him died. That's crazy. He literally said, what, 2 months on the job, and he got stabbed in the throat, man? Jesus. This shit is violent. This shit is dark, man. But it's just, like, insane at how he has people everywhere. And even Vladimir was telling him, judges, politicians, officials, like, everybody is in his pocket. Everyone works for him. And I know a lot of people draw the comparison because, yes, it is kind of like when you flip it to Batman with Carmine Falcone really running the city. And it's not a bad comparison. As someone in the comments brought this up, that Frank Miller also wrote a lot of great Daredevil comics. And you can see a lot of direct comparisons to these characters. And that's not a bad thing. But what's important is they definitely have their own sort of identity. And they definitely both are unique in their own way. And I really appreciate that. But it makes me happy that I can draw comparisons on the two characters. And I really love Matt's voice and just like everything. It just sounds so good. When he's not in the mask, it sounds great. He just has a nice, I think he puts on an accent, Charlie Cox does, but especially when he's in the mask and he's doing that voice that's definitely lower, intimidating, but also like the cold whisper kind of, it just, it sounds so good. You know, it's funny too, because this was a while ago. I think it was during a Cyberpunk video where they had a trailer and it was like the people like whispering. And I don't like ASMR. I don't like that shit. I don't like people whispering in my ear. It creeps me out. But it's just like, some people got that voice where like, oh, damn, that's awesome. Not necessarily like, oh, yeah, this makes me feel so good. more so like, oh yeah, it's badass. Like Matt's got a badass voice, man. I can't wait to hear more of it, but it's just so good. And it just seeing sort of worlds collide. It was nice to see Claire interact with Foggy and Karen, even though they have no idea about each other. And it's hilarious. It's that dramatic irony in that situation, but it's fantastic. And then even Karen wondering, hey, that's the guy that saved me, but what is he doing? He killed those people, and he's painted in a bad light because Fisk is manipulating everything. The footage, the explosions, everything. And that's insanity itself. And then Foggy is also wondering where Matt is. I mean, it's funny because as a viewer, you're always wondering, like, how do these people not know? But if you were in that situation, you probably wouldn't even know also. But I can't wait for them to find out, especially Foggy, just because he's been a friend with him for so long. Karen will definitely be surprised, but I'm just more so interested in how everyone deals with that. Because originally I thought that Karen and Matt would sort of hit it off, but that's completely the opposite. She's really working out with Foggy, which is a good thing, dude. Foggy's the man. Protect him at all costs, as I said, but I thought she would fall for him more, and then it would be sort of like the surprise kind of, I don't know, like Spider-Man 2, where Mary Jane was like, oh, it makes so much sense that Peter is Spider-Man, and then she'd be like, oh, Matt's Daredevil or whatever. I don't know. But I can't wait for them to find out. This is going to be a great storyline, but it also makes me worried because when you welcome people into that life, then they instantly become a target, and it's sort of alluded to with Fisk that he'll go after the people you care about, so yeah, it really makes it quite dangerous and very scary. So it really like ups the stakes and makes it very tense. So I'm excited for the future episodes. And as I mentioned, the next episode on Sunday, I'm going to do something special for Daredevil fans. Well, just for fans of the channel that watch my Daredevil reactions. It's not anything special. It's not anything different, but I'll reveal it during the episode. I'm telling you, it's not a big deal, but it's like something surprising. So just bear with me on that. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I absolutely loved this episode. This episode was crazy. Very tense with him being locked in the warehouse, and it was just utter chaos, mayhem, and mass hysteria that was all incited by Fisk. Like, it's unbelievable how they portray him as being sort of this criminal mastermind, and you always are amazed at how intelligent he is and how many steps ahead he is. Literally, now that it's unraveling and he's been introduced formally, every episode he just never ceases to have a trick up his sleeve or just have control of things. So it's just like, damn. And it's kind of funny too, because Matt is also a person that is very intelligent. He's displayed it a lot of times, not just as a lawyer, being a really good lawyer, speaking very fluent Spanish, which I was very shocked by, but the way he can sense things, it's not just his senses, but the way he's able to put things together, figure out quick solutions. He's very intelligent, and he's also very capable and resourceful, which might not be a necessity, but it's gonna be handy when he's trying to find a way to take down Fisk, because he's gonna need to put everything he has on the case to do this. He's one man against an army, so this is gonna take a lot out of him. And I mean, I know he's gonna be up for the challenge, but it's like, he's just the guy, even though he has crazy acrobatics and amazing senses. But it's cool to see him still take a bullet and have him endure, because he's such like a badass, bro. But still, can't wait till he gets his costume. That's gonna look awesome. And something I want to say is, I know he had a bar in this episode, and I think like the first episode before I started watching the series, I said sort of the knowledge I know about this character, and I still think, I'm not sure. I try not to do any research and just discover things for myself, but I'm not quite sure what those two bars are called. But I think in the comics he uses them kind of like Nightwing. I don't think they're electric, but he just uses them to toss and hit, as we saw in this episode, to where he tossed it and hit someone. But he's done that in other episodes. I mean, he did it with like a wrench in one episode against the Russians, but still, he uses tools. So I like that, and that's awesome. And I can't wait to see him in like an actual costume. I've done a pretty damn good job at avoiding shit when it comes to his costume, because there are a lot of Instagram posts, Twitter posts where it's on his costume, and I vaguely make out the shape of what it looks like, and I quickly look away or try to blur my eyes. I really have not sat down and focused and looked on his costume. I never had like an actual focused look, only like less than 1 second glances, and I can't really piece together what it looks like. But I'm very excited to see when he finally gets like an actual outfit. But anyway, Hope you guys enjoyed this. As I said, Daredevil reaction on Sunday, of course. Tomorrow will be another episode of The Boys. And X-Men, I decided to do something different with. I'm going to go over that in another video, but there's not going to be an X-Men movie reaction for a while. My hair is like bizarre as hell right now. It's like a rooster. I don't know what the hell it's doing. But just mentioning again with X-Men, I'm going to do something different, which I will when I have a concrete plan for it. We'll talk about it more in a couple weeks' time. 100% though, all the X-Men movies up until Logan are going to be out before Multiverse of Madness, or at the very least before I watch it, meaning even though I might not edit them, I will watch all the movies before I watch Multiverse of Madness, and I'm going to pump them out because I'm sort of constructing a grand plan for releasing the X-Men movies, but again, I'll save that for another time. So as I mentioned lastly, hope you guys enjoyed, and until then, I will catch you folks in my next video.